Om Shanti. A very warm welcome to all of you. And we have this experiential meditation every Tuesday evening. And it is also in Hindi language. The session will be in English, but if you want to hear it in Hindi language, then on Zoom, you go and select. If you are on cell phone, you can select more and then select interpretation, and then on interpretation you can select the Hindi language. Okay, so today's topic is author of my own happiness. So let's first define what is happiness. And I will start with some research which was done on happiness. So there was a UK professor who was given this topic of happiness to research on. And this was done by USA. So one of the college, university. So when he did a research on this, he went out and asked people, what do you think? How there can be happiness? And which people would be happy? And guess what, right? Most of them, whatever they collected the data, from that collected data, they came to know that majority of the people told that when there is wealth, there is happiness. And the second most popular was that if you have beauty, then you are happy. And so he thought that, okay, let me find it out. Really, is that what it is? What people are telling? And so he went to very rich people, millionaires, and asked them, what do you think? Do you feel that because you have so much wealth, you are happy? What do you think? What they would have told. So there was first reason which they mentioned that because we have money, and so we want to make sure that our money is not lost, or someone doesn't take it away, and someone doesn't rob. So there is always this worry, there is always this tension that someone may take it away, right? Because we know the world out there is like that, very selfish, very self-centered. So that was one of the reason. The second reason was that they mentioned that when we come into relationship with others, there is always this sense of doubt, insecurity, that why this person is talking to me or having a relationship with me. Are they looking for my money, or they are genuine? So there is always this concern about that whether this is genuine or not, right? And so you can see that the people, those who have a lot of wealth, they are also not happy. And the third reason which they mentioned is that there is insecurity because of wealth, that maybe someone will abduct me, someone will abduct my family member, my loved ones. And so there is this fear about that too. And so you can see that that wealth cannot bring happiness. Then they went to the people who has beauty, right? And guess what they went, where the professor went? Went to Hollywood, where men and women who are very, very beautiful, pretty. And when he had conducted interviews with them, so they mentioned that there is always this fear that young ones will come and take away whatever fame and whatever name which we have. So there is this fear of that. And also they were saying that there is a lot of stress to maintain the physical health, the physical beauty, that there are not many wrinkles, and they have to exercise a lot so that they can maintain their body weight, their figure, right? Not only that, they also are very much pressured with what they can eat and what they cannot eat, even though they like it. So there is a lot of compulsion with it to maintain what they are. And so beauty also doesn't bring happiness, right? So then what is happiness then? So you will find that happiness will you can only experience happiness when you have a good character. You have values in your life, and you make an effort to live with that values, can bring happiness, right? Means when you so happiness is a feeling, right? But if I want to be happy all the time, then I need to understand that my inner state of being has to be happy. And in order to have that happiness, my outlook, my perspective towards myself and towards others has to be optimistic, positive, right? Then only I can be happy. So what I have to do is, the topic is author of my own happiness. So it is not that I have to be a writer, right? But author in the sense is that I create my own story, right? And I am responsible for that. And life is a story by itself. And I create that story, I create that life, I experience that life based on my feelings, my aspirations, my inspirations, and when I live with that, I create a beautiful story, right? So I need to understand here that I am the author of my own happiness. What it means is that I have a choice whether I want to be happy or I want to be something other than happy, right? So it is in my control, right? So what do I, and the control means it's like what I need to choose, right? Because we live in a world where there is a lot of chaos. We live in a world where there is a lot of peacelessness. We live in a world where there is a lot of obstacles and challenges, right? But if I want to experience happiness, then I have to create my own way. And so I have to create something in my life which can sustain that happiness, that feeling which I want to live with, right? And so I can create my own feelings. So do you think that I can create my own happiness? Or many times people think that I cannot create my own happiness because I have family and I have to take care of my responsibilities and I have to work so many hours and all of that. So those are all, I would say, are excuses, right? So I can tell you one story, right? How I see things can change and the outcome of it, right? So there was a boy, a young boy, and it was a day of Thanksgiving, and this young boy hears living in being in his room comes to know that there is a, a yelling happens between a mother and a father, and on something. And then, meanwhile, there was a knock on the door, and a stranger was there and said that I am here to offer you food as a charity. So this gentleman, the father of this son, was very angry because of the conversation which he was having with his wife. And so he said, I don't want any charity. So he said, it is not charity, but it is of out of goodwill. We are trying to give meal so that you can the family can have it together. And so he said, I because out of ego, he completely rejected it, and he tried to shut the door. But then this stranger was very strong, so he put his leg in between and said that this is just as a token of gratitude, and please accept it. And he still came into argument with that individual, and he took the food, but then he trashed it because of his ego. And looking at the whole scene, this son became very disheartened. He was hoping that okay, maybe I will get a meal, and he could not get the meal because it was trashed it. And after some time, what happened that the father left the child, and the child was raised with the mother and his siblings. After many years, the child was never able to forget that event. That during Thanksgiving, family not being together, eating together, and all, that deep shock was there in the heart. But then he thought that let me do something. My life was not that great, but I can bring that ray of hope or happiness in someone else's life. And so he went to a nearby church and asked that, do you know of any family who would be looking for or need meal? And so church provided 2-3 names of the families. And so he went there with the meal and knocked on the door, not knowing that what is going to happen, what could be an outcome. But then there was this Mexican family who very warmly welcomed him, and when he offered that this is out of gratitude that we are offering it, and that mother was very happy, and she was so much in joy that she had tears coming out, and feeling of gratitude came feeling of how much she can thank that how that he has come and delivered a food, and she was a mother of 4 children, and so all the children also came, and they were very happy to have the meals, and they all ate happily. And and so when he had that experience, so what he did was, even though it was a problem, it was an obstacle, it was something which he was not able to let go of, which he was reminded again and again in his life, he was able to transform that, made it as an opportunity, and brought smile and happiness in someone's life. Right? So it is how I see things and how what I want to do, what is my intention towards it. I can bring a change, and it is in my hand. Right? I don't have to. Many times you will find people sit back, sometimes curse themselves, curse others, right, of whatever has happened in their life, right? But if I can create, I am my own author. Each and every day, whatever I want to write on a page, I can write. So each and every day is nothing but a blank page for me, an opportunity for me to do something more beautiful, right? And which can bring happiness to others, or it can bring happiness to me, right? So it is what intention with which I live, with what purpose I live in my life. And if I live a life with a great cause, with great inspiration, then you can change whatever has come into your life, right? Nothing can stop you, right? But many times, so I have to be responsible about myself. The more I am aware that I can do something, I can contribute, and the more I work towards that, you will find that you will have control over what you want to do. And when you make those right kind of choices, then you will find that happiness, I can live a life of happiness. I can bring ray of hope in someone's life, right? So it is possible, right? But I have to create it. But it is not like so I have to bring some kind of a discipline in my life. And I think the most beautiful way to start, if I want to hold this these beautiful inspirations in my life, what I need to do is I can have these beautiful inspirations when I I experience silence. The more I spend time in quietness, right, where there is no noise, and when I'm really totally connected to myself, then these beautiful things can emerge in my mind, right? And it is like, so when you spend some quality time, and I'm not saying just spend 5-10 minutes in the morning with yourself, and with this hope, with that great feeling of making your life more beautiful than yesterday, right? So every day I can make my life more beautiful, right? And with that intention, when I sit, then what will happen? It is like sometimes when we just get up, right, or sometimes we are running late and we hurry, what happens? We don't have a focus, right? So I say that when you spend these first few minutes with yourself, it works as a compass. You can navigate your life, you can direct your life the way you want, right? And when you are able to do that, then you see that it is more in control, that I can navigate the way I want. It is like I become the captain of my ship, right? It is not that I am everywhere and I'm not able to take care of the things and I'm like overwhelmed with it, right? So start your day with few minutes of reflection. Spend quiet time, and like say for example, if you are a family and where you have children, then I would say wake a few minutes early, 5-10 minutes early, and spend that quality time, right? That what you want to do for yourself, so that you can really connect or touch base with your inner self, your core. And so, because many times when we do things in hurry or in worry or in tension, then we are not able to connect with our true self. And when we don't connect with our true self, then what happens? Then whatever I do, it doesn't bring satisfaction, right? It doesn't bring contentment because something is still lacking, right? And when I am not content, what will happen? You will find little bit of irritation will be there, isn't it? Right? Little bit of unhappiness is there, little bit of sadness is there, right? Little bit of less hope is there then. So, if I am in tune with myself, then only I know what I am looking for and whether that is what I am doing. Because that will bring me comfort and that will make me experience contentment, satisfaction for whatever I am doing. Right? And so this is very important. And then what I need to do is throughout the day, whatever you want to do it, see that whether you are able to do it. Right? So at the end of the day, you have to really check that whatever goal I have kept, whatever chores I wanted to do, am I able to do it? Right? And it all depends when you use your time in a worthwhile way. Right? Because if you don't use your time in a worthwhile way, what will happen? You will feel guilty. You will not be satisfied, right? How can you be happy if you have wasted your time, right? Many times we have this habit of sitting in front of a TV, right? And we spend so much time, right? 2, 3, 4 hours, right? Then many times what happens? After maybe spending time, we feel guilty that, oh, I have so many things to do, I did not do it, right? It will not give a feeling of happiness for sure, even though maybe you watch something, it was really entertaining, but at the back of your mind you are feeling guilty about it, right? So I need to, if I want to be happy, I have to value time, right? Because along with time, many things are there. Time itself is an energy, and then whatever I invest into it, my mind, my thoughts, my feelings, the actions which I perform, all is involved into it. And that is why it is very important that I really make sure that I use my time in a worthwhile way. Then only I can be happy. And so it doesn't mean that, okay, every time if you check your chart at the end of the day, that, okay, how well I did, and every time you will have always plus result. You will not find that. Sometimes you will do something which you should not have done. So don't be discouraged by it. Don't become disheartened, right? But what you do is, again, take that as an example that how I can improve, right? So that every day I become more and more better. And the more better I become, the more happier I will be. Right? So it starts with the self. This is not selfishness, but I have to start with myself. And that is why I many times say that it is a very popular example, like when you are in the flight, right? And when they say that when the oxygen is less, what you do is there will be oxygen mask which will come. They say that first you put it on to yourself and then give it to your young ones, right? Why? Because I have to take care of myself. If I don't take care of myself, I cannot take care of my family. I cannot take care of my loved ones. So, happiness is also the same thing, right? If I am not happy, how can I bring happiness in my family, right? So, it is very important that I spend good amount of time for with myself so that there is a well-being, right? I am happy, I am content. And then when I am that, then I can extend and I can share that feeling with others, right? Then I can contribute to family, to community, and to the world, right? And so it is very important that I take charge, right, of my own self, right? And don't give an excuse of situations, circumstances, people, because we live in a world like that, right? And I also live in a world like that. I also work, and so you meet people like that, right? But then if you practice your right choice, then you can stay calm, you can stay peaceful, you can stay happy, and you will not be disturbed, right? So it is how I see things, right? So if I stay positive, if I stay hopeful, then I will always try to find some solution, something to make things better. And with that hope, I have to live each and every moment. Right? That's all as a human being I can do. Right? I don't know what is my destiny or what could be the result, but I can try with that hope. And if it fails, then, or if you meet a failure, learn from it and change your techniques, change your method, but never become discouraged, right? Never become disheartened, right? And so I think if you follow these things and implement few of those things, you will find that yeah, I can create my own well-being, right? I can create my own happiness. It is not that my happiness is dependent on others. I can create my own happiness, right? So now onwards, create your own story, right? Right? Don't rely on others. Don't bring your past things in present. Many times we do that also, right? That in my past I have never succeed. How will I succeed? Right? So many times these things of past also doesn't allow me to do something new and allow me to experience something different, right? So create every day is an opportunity and it's a new beginning of a life, right? So if you see it from that way, then you can create your own happiness, you can create your own destiny, right? Only thing is let go of your past. By telling to yourself, past is past, and then create a new beginning. right? So when there is a new beginning with new hope, then there is a probability of experiencing newness, and when there is newness, then there is happiness, right? Okay, with this, let's practice meditation. And if you have questions, and if you think there is something which I want to ask, maybe those who are on Zoom, maybe you can write it in the chat, okay? Or you can now electronically raise your hand and we can unmute and you can ask a question later on after we do the meditation. Or you turn on your video and then maybe raise your physical hand, which we will know, so then you can ask your question. Okay, so let's, for a few minutes, we reflect, we meditate, and you can do similar kind of meditation like every day in the morning for a few minutes, so that you can position yourself. Okay, so sit comfortably, be relaxed. Make sure your feet is grounded. Arms are relaxed. And sit straight. Become aware of your comfortable position you are in. When you breathe in hope and peace. And when you exhale the pressure, the tension, or any little burden which I am carrying of today. See yourself with a very positive feeling. I am a hopeful being. I live with hope each and every day of my life. Hope allows me to fulfill my dreams. Hope allows me to make a dream a reality. Each and every moment in my life is an opportunity. I also now understand that each and every second which has been given to me is an opportunity to make my life beautiful. So being an optimistic person I want to use my time in a worthwhile way. And in order to do that, I really have to connect to my true self. And to connect to my true self, I have to hear my inner voice. My inner voice tells me something. Do I have time to hear it? I now understand the value of myself. The more I stay connected to myself, the more peaceful and happier I am. I am a being of peace. I am a being of love. I love myself. I respect myself. When I see myself with respect and dignity, I value myself. This awareness creates a healthy relationship with self. When I am in harmony with myself, there is a sense of well-being. There is true appreciation of life. When I connect to my true self, I feel satisfied. And this positive self, positive image allows me to stay hopeful in spite of adverse situations. I am very well aware about the outside world, which is of challenge, chaos, misunderstanding. But the more I stay connected to myself, I have this self-belief that I can overcome outside negative situations. The more I stay positive, the more I stay hopeful, I invoke my inner strength. And this inner strength allows me to believe in self. It increases my potential. And so I stay grounded. I stay stable. Aha, this is such a uplifting feeling when I am truly connected to my core. I am in control of my feelings. I am a peaceful being, and I share vibrations of peace. I am a loveful being, and I share vibrations of love. I am happy and content. And I am here in this world to contribute, to share peace and happiness with my fellow human beings. The more I share and care, the more I am happy. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So, so you can do these kind of reflection, meditation, contemplation, whatever name you want to call it, but spend some quality time like this with yourself in the beginning of the day, and then with that hope, with that great feeling, you start your day and create a new chapter in your life every day. Right? Does anyone has any question? If you have, you can write in the chat, or you can. So, okay, so the question is, does karma play a role in happiness? Yeah, karma, definitely karma plays a role in happiness, because the kind of act which we play, right, that will bring me happiness, right? So if I do a act of kindness, it will give me happiness, right? So it's an act, the result of that action could be an happiness, right? So yeah, it happiness, I think, totally depends on your karma, the kind of action which I perform, right? So that is why I said that when I instill values in life, when I have good character, right, then definitely I will be more happy, right? Anyone, anything else? Any other question? Hmm? No? Means, shall I assume that you all are happy all the time then? Right? So it is always a challenge, right? But I have to find my way out, right? I have to maintain my balance, yes?
We are happy most of the time, if
Right?
not all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And that is why we have to work on ourselves,
Yes,
because we
exactly.
want to be happy all the time, right? So that is why it's an effort, right? But it is, I can create my own happiness, right? It is not that my happiness is relies on someone else,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
When I say that, then what it means is that I have given my controls to someone else. Then I would be I would be a puppet then, right? But if I take control, then you can maneuver, right? So that is what I need to do. Take control, take charge of yourself, of your feelings, of your thoughts, of your actions. Okay. Om Shanti. Thank you very much for
Thank you
joining,
very
and
much.
hope to see you again next Tuesday with
Om
another
Shanti.
topic.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Om
you.
Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Very
Om
helpful
Shanti.
tips.
Thank you.